No, I'm talking about it's really going down. Revelation 8, golden censer, then them trumpets blowing low. Every time you open up your Bible, bro, you gotta be Berean. Just ask the Holy Spirit for his wisdom, you receive it. Use discernment with these preachers when they say it's in there. Just make sure it's really in there before standing in agreement. It's some wolves and sheep, clothing and I miss you, gotta peep it. They tell you that they love you, but can't wait to sink their teeth in. God don't forsake his people. He gathered like-minded brothers and sisters with no hidden agendas or no secret. Be someone who's self-seeking, no, don't ever do that. Jesus' disciples left examples, read it all through Acts. The one who sins gon' get the business, but the one who knows his will and doesn't do it gon' be choosing to be beaten blue-black. Keep it a stack, you treat his word with contempt, or do you love it? Them God-given talents, did you flip them, did you tuck them? The beast gon' get the bucket. You talking about you stepping on demons when it's really going down, you soft as puppets. So I know it's gon' get bloody when the buddies send the task force. Never leave the house without the Bible on the dashboard. See where we all going, ain't no need for passports. The golden censer coming down. The question is, will we last though?
End time steady coming, now you living, man. How you live by your spirit or by your feelings? Words in the Bible hold meaning. Where's your pastor's word bond? So that's what you believe in. You tell me now, end time steady coming, now you living, Are you live by your spirit or by
Good morning, brothers and sisters, and thank you for joining us for another Bible study. It's a beautiful opportunity. It is Sabbath, a day that we get to sit back and rest and dig into his word and see what nuggets and seeds is that he wants to reveal to us, and all of those great and wonderful things. And it's a beautiful opportunity to still be able to do that, to not have a closed heart, mind, and eyes and ears, to be able to sit back like a child and hear what God is steady showing in his word on a daily basis. It's a beautiful opportunity to not have to do that alone. God said it's not good for man to be alone. So you have brothers and sisters that are like-minded, that are seeking the same thing. That is a beautiful thing. And we are blessed with that beautiful thing. We got brothers and sisters on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok from all over. And then, of course, also from all over on Zoom, we got Be Strong and Courageous. Good morning and happy Sabbath. Good morning and happy Sabbath. One more. We can't start. Waiting on something. Peace and blessings. You already know. Shout out to our brother G. How are we doing this morning? You know, this is a very important topic, in my humble opinion, today. That TikTok tripping. Y'all give me a second. Sister Ayana or Michael, if y'all can, please. I see Ayana. Thank you, Sister Ayana. It's a very important topic, in my humble opinion. It is a thing that is going on a lot in this land, in a land that is very labeled and proudly labels itself a God-fearing nation. It labels itself as the number one nation in the world, and all of these things that we hear, right? And today I want to share today's topic is called Debating Destruction. How we have leaned more on the political system than we do in anything that God is trying to show us. A nation that says we're the number one nation. We have the most churches. We got the most Christians and believers, and we're following God, that we are able to worship God here, right? But some kind of way we lean a lot more on our politics. Our rulers, our presidents, our kings is what we desire. And when we go to participate in these systems and we go to pick these people, we do not have anything on our checklist about them being godly. Do they speak godly? Are they following God? Is there God in their plan at any part of their politics? We want to know how good they are politically. Do they meet our political needs? Right? These are the things that comes in this nation. And I want to share today that this has been going on for a long time. And God has left his word so we can read these stories and learn these lessons, so we don't continue to fall into these traps as his believers and as his people. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Everybody with me? So we live in a land where we really, really lean on our politics, and it bleeds into our religion. It bleeds into our belief system. And then it has divided families, right? It causes arguments in the communities, and none of it is godly. And we have to sit back sometime to say, well, wait a minute, hold on. During the last election between the two candidates, the phrase on the nation was, this was the lesser of two what? And we still stood in lines. We still wore t-shirts and hats. We still get on Facebook and on social media platforms and scream at each other from these positions of political authority instead of what does God want us on. Everybody with me so far? Somebody pull up Daniel 2 real quick as we get started. Daniel 2:21. In this heavy politicized land that we're in, and the whole world right now is we heavily rely on our kings, our presidents, our rulers, right? The people that supposedly that we put in power, right? And before we read, anyone that like any man or woman on this call that has maybe been divorced. So you were married before, maybe y'all had a household or children, and then you get divorced, and then you get remarried, right? So there's another spouse that comes in, another candidate. Everybody following where I'm going? Give me a thumbs up if you've ever been in that situation. You don't gotta, it's us. I'm going somewhere. You've been in that, me, right? Have you noticed when you went from spouse to new spouse, was there a change in your household or things stay the same? Good or bad, that's not the point. Did things change? They changed, correct? So when you went from spouse to spouse, things changed. Hopefully for all of us out there for the better, right? Things changed. So I'm gonna use a woman as an example. You get divorced, you get a new husband, a new king, a new president. Y'all get what I'm saying? A new leader comes in and things change for the better. Now let's take what I just said to the political system. Every 4 to 8 years, we get a new person. Do things change? Think about what I just said. Every 48 years in this country, when we vote for presidents, do things change? Or has things remained the same in this nation from president to president to president to president to president? Is that correct? Yet we get in line every 48 years. We stand in front of our TVs. We listen to campaigns. We listen to debates to say, I'm going to do this different. I'm going to change this. Change is coming. This is coming. New jobs. America first. All of these things. Any of these things happen? But we convince ourselves not only that is change is coming, but we're picking the change. Daniel 2:21. Somebody read that for me.
He changes times and seasons. He disposes kings and raises up others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning.
He changes times and seasons. He deposes kings, and raises others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. Who is he?
God.
So read that one more time and replace he with God, Mama Sue.
God changes times and seasons. God deposes kings and raises up others. God gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning.
So with all the wisdom that we have, with all the history that we have evidence to see what happens when a nation strays away from God. Is that correct? We read this in the Bible and it says God puts in place kings and removes them. For every 48 years, what do?
Stand in line and vote.
And I'm going to show you what we're doing. I'm going to show us what we're doing, even when your candidate doesn't win. I'm going to show you what we're doing according to the word of God. Because then sometimes when the president or the person that we don't pick, when they win, we convince ourselves, oh, this wouldn't be going like this if this person won. Oh, have we been hearing that lately? We wouldn't be in these wars, and we wouldn't be in any of these things that the candidate had won. Let's go to 1 Samuel 8. We have all of this information. Before we go to 1 Samuel 8, in business, especially in this land and even in the streets, you ever heard of the term middleman?
Yep.
And if you're a wise business person, or if you're even in the streets, you would want to do what with the middleman? You want to get rid of it. Is wise. It is a good business decision to get rid of the middleman. So if you had a business and you were selling t-shirts and you had to buy some materials to sell the t-shirts from this middleman, but you find out the middleman is getting it from directly from the source way cheaper. Isn't it wise to try to get rid of the middleman? So we have a source. Who's our source? We have a source, a direct source. So let me slow down. Let me go back. You got a middleman, and the wise decision is to get rid of the middleman to get to the source. Let me show you what believers have done. You have the source, and you find a way to get a middleman. Does that make sense? Am I making this up?
No.
Let's go to 1 Samuel, and we're going to start at chapter 8. If you have been, and I'm going to bring this up to a lot, if you have been in the VA program, especially the brothers, we've been talking about Samuel, the book of Samuel, a lot. Correct? Chapter 8, we're going to read we're at verse 1. It says, when Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons as what?
Israel's leaders.
We're going to read real slow. As Israel's leaders. Who is Israel? These are the group of people that God brought out of Egypt. These is God's people. This is correct. These are people that's supposed to be a light, right? We need all this for context. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second son was Abijah, and they served in Beersheba. But his son did not what? They turned aside after dishonest gain, accepted bribes, and perverted justice. What does that sound like? It sounds like the political climate of today. Right? They take bribes. They're corrupt. Is justice equal in this country? Right? Do people take bribes and turn a blind eye to things that are in leadership? So, but when Samuel was in charge, was these things happening?
No.
Right? So watch this. So there's a godly man in charge, and these things don't happen. We're going to paint a picture. We're going to show other things that don't happen. Watch this. So the elders of all of Israel, remember we've been talking about elders and priests, right? The wise, they gathered together and they came to Samuel at Ramah and they said to him, look here, man. Look, Samuel, you get old. You know what I'm saying? But we want you to consult a little bit because your sons ain't really rocking that like that. So we want you to come in and pick another godly leader. Is that what they said to Samuel?
Yes.
Yes.
So they said to Samuel, give us a godly leader because your sons is tripping.
No, they just wanted a leader, period.
They said to him, you are old and your sons do not follow your ways. Now appoint us a king to lead. What kind of king? Keep reading.
No, they just wanted a king to
Appoint a king. Appoint a king to lead us, such as what?
All the other nations had.
So they could have said, hey, man, yo, we want a leader like you, Samuel.
Yeah.
Because of the corruption and all of these things we're complaining about your son wasn't happening under your leadership. But they said, we want a king just like all of the other nations have. Y'all hear it? What did they just ask for?
A political king.
Uh-huh. What? Correct. What did they just ask for? We just talked about it. They wanted a middleman.
The middleman.
Oh, middleman. Okay.
They don't want to be led by a godly leader. But it goes deeper than that. Let's keep reading. They said, give us a king to lead us. This displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord told him, y'all listen to this. The Lord said to him, listen to all that people are saying to you. Listen to their words. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to this behavior as they're talking. I want you to listen to what they're saying to you. Let's go back. What they're saying to you is they didn't say, yo, we need godly leadership like we've had all of this time. We've had your godly leadership. Your sons came in and corrupted it a little bit. And instead of addressing that and wanting to replace that to what we had, we want a king to lead over us. God says, listen to what they're saying to you. Didn't God say, judge them by their fruits? So when we're out here talking to people and we're interacting people, listen to what they're saying to you. Go ahead, Deidre.
It's very highly likely that all of these other kings from all of these other nations is doing the same thing that they're complaining about right now.
100%. So listen to all the people are saying to you. It is not you they have rejected, but they have rejected what?
Me as their king.
They have rejected me as their king. They want a middleman. Right? Keep reading. Just as they have done from the day I brought them where?
Egypt.
Out of Egypt.
So they know this happened and they know who brought them out. They know the commands that God gave them, what God had told them to do, what system he told them to come out of. He gave them a new time, new calendar. He gave them commands. Is that correct? I brought them out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods. So they are doing to you. Now listen to them. What's the first 4 words in 9?
Now listen to them.
Listen to them. But warn them solemnly and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights. Stop. We get in these lines. We listen to these debates. It don't matter which one you picked. You get in this system and you saying, I want a king. Because they're the lesser of two what?
Evils.
And we voted for one. Ain't that, y'all get what I'm saying? We're asking for the system. You're asking to be ruled. You're asking to be ruled by ungodly people. And we've known they've been ungodly for decade after decade after decade. Y'all get what I'm saying? We know it and we learn it. Right? Do y'all know that it's people that voted for the current president for a certain reason, for the certain things that he ran on? He didn't do none of that. Now they're like, the system might be corrupt. The thing that's coming out about children and the people in our government and leadership and celebrity are pedophiles. You're shocked. But you were okay with the other ungodly things they've done for decade after decade after decade after decade after decade. They proved that they were ungodly. But every 4 to 8 years, we want a new king with all the evidence. We don't demand, like, hold on. Are you even godly? VAers that's in the VA program, what do we do every morning before we do anything?
Spend time with the Lord.
Spend time, say it again.
Spend time with the Lord.
So you spend time with the Lord, you're at his feet, you're inquiring at the Lord of what he wants you to do, correct, for the day, correct?
Yeah.
And we are just fathers, mothers, people just go to work, right? Should you want a leader that did the same thing? Women, do you want a husband that does that? Or do you want your husband, he just gets up and he just wings it?
No, we want a godly man. Absolutely.
Right? We do we sit back with our leaders? Hold on, bro. How much do you get up in the morning before you discuss decisions that can affect millions of lives? Do you sit with the Lord? This sounds crazy in the nation that we live in because we have been convinced that we pick them. We don't even operate, most people don't even operate like this in their households. Who are we picking to lead us? Let's keep reading. Samuel told all of the words to the Lord. Let me go back. So you remember he said, now listen to them, but warn them solemnly and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights. So Samuel told, this is going to be very, very important. I want to watch the behavior of Samuel, right? So Samuel told some of the words that the Lord said to the people. So Samuel told what he felt like was important to the people. Okay, so Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking him for a king. And he said, this is what the king who will reign over you will claim as his rights. Pause. When we go into the polls, we're participating in the system. Let me show you what's going to happen or what has been happening when they get to claim what's theirs. Everybody ready? He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses, and they will run in front of his chariots. What is that? Your son's gonna get in my military. And he gonna be on the front line protecting me. Your son's gonna fight my wars. Some he will assign to commanders of thousands, right? Some of them gonna be captains and got good jobs, and other commanders of 50s, and others are gonna do what? Plow his ground and reap his harvest, and others will make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. So this sounds like a war machine, or what we call today as the military industrial complex. Do we get to complain?
No, just grumble.
So some he will assign to be commanders. He will take your daughters. It don't even matter at this point. He gonna take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his attendants. So now, the best places in this land, do the people own them?
Nope, the billionaires.
So the best of the vineyards, the olive groves, all of the Martha's, all of these nice places, we don't own them. He will take 1/10 of your grain and of your vintage and give it to his officials and attendants. What is this? He will take 1/10. He will take 1/10. What is this? Taxes. Have y'all caught at when Samuel is explaining this to them? What he's explaining to them, if I got to explain to you all of these things are going to happen to you if you pick this king, what has happened before you pick this king? Were they paying taxes? Were they sons and daughters being taken under Samuel's rule? So he'll take a tenth of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his what?
Slaves.
And when that day comes, you will cry for relief from the what?
King you have chosen.
But the Lord will what?
Not answer you in that day.
You standing in these lines for all of these years, and you was okay with racism. You was okay with them redlining neighborhoods. You was okay with the treatment of the veterans. You was okay with all of this evilness that's been going on with this country. Now they are blatantly doing evil with children, killing people, all of these things. What do you call it? Inflation, all of these evil things that's going on. And now it's like, oh Lord, it's going to, this is what you wanted. We don't think about it like that. When the day comes, you will cry from the relief from the king you have chosen, but the Lord will not answer you in that day. But the people refuse to what?
Obey the voice of Samuel.
We want a what?
King.
We want a king over us, then we will be like all of the other nations. Were they supposed to be like all of the other nations?
Oh, they were supposed to be set apart.
Listen to this. Remember what God said? I want you to listen to them. Listen to what they're saying to you. Is that correct? When then it says, we want a king over us, then we will be like all of the other nations with a king to lead us and to go out before us and fight our battles. Y'all hear that language? Don't we say that here? We're okay with bombing and all of these things in the other countries, and we're saying we're fighting for our freedom. He's fighting. Our president is fighting for us. What? When Samuel heard all of what the people said, he repeated it before the Lord, and the Lord answered, listen to them and do what?
Give them what they asked.
I'm finna give you what you asked for.
King.
Parents, you ever had the child special and toddler stages where they want to eat everything? And you might be eating a pizza or something, and you got like the little hot pepper or something, and you tell like, no, you don't, this hot, or the cheese, this hot, no. And finally, you just let them what?
Let them hurt themselves.
You let them bite it.
Let 'em eat it.
And when all that screaming, you like, I told you. This is what you asked for. Everybody with me so far? Everybody, y'all ready to stop? Everybody ready to end the Bible study? Let's go to chapter 9. Ran Samuel, the whole study. So I won't bounce you around a lot. Read Samuel 9, and we're going to start at 15. So they asked for a king, right? And the Lord said, give them what they asked for. Everybody with me? Now, the day before Saul came, the Lord had revealed this to Samuel. About this time tomorrow, I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin, anoint him ruler over my people, Israel, and he will deliver them from the hand of the Philistines. And I have looked on my people, for their cry has reached me. When Samuel caught sight of Saul, the Lord said to him, this is the man that I spoke to you about. He will govern my people. So 19, he says, I am the seer. Samuel replied, go up ahead of me to the high place for you today, or for today you are to eat with me. And in the morning I will send you on your way and tell you all that is in your heart. As for the donkeys you lost 3 days ago, do not worry about them. They have been found. And to whom is all the desire of Israel turned, if not to you and your whole family line? Right? So Saul's response, We've read this type of response before. I'm a Benjamite. I'm the smallest of my clan. I'm the smallest. I'm the least, right? But this is who God is about to anoint king. Correct? Samuel brings Saul and his servant into the hall, and they seated with him, and about 30 in number. And Samuel said to the cook, bring that piece of meat that I gave you, that I told you to set aside. Right? So there's a ceremony. They're going through all of these things and these steps, and they're about to anoint him as king of Israel. Is everybody with me so far?
Yeah.
Let's go down to 26. They rose about daybreak, and Samuel called Saul to the roof. It's Samuel and Saul. What we're going to start to see as we're reading through the study today, brothers and sisters, is that Samuel is a man of God and God after God's own heart. And although Samuel knows what is about to happen, I want us to pay attention to Samuel's reaction all throughout this story, right? They're on the roof. They rose at daybreak and says, get ready and I will send you on your way. Saul got ready and he and Samuel went outside together. And as they were going down to the edge of town, Samuel told Saul, tell the servant to go ahead of us. And the servant did so, but you stay here for a while so that I may give you what?
The word of God.
I'm going to give you a message of God. I'm going to give you some consulting. I'm going to lay everything out on the table because that's what God does, right? We lay everything out on the table. Y'all hear the language. So y'all hear Samuel's language. And then I want you to pay attention when God says, I want you to hear everything they saying to you. I want you to listen to how they speaking. From the heart, the mouth speaks, correct? So we're setting the stage of what God is about to do. Now let's go to 12, chapter 12. 1 Samuel chapter 12. First Samuel chapter 12. We're at 1. Samuel said to all of Israel, I have listened to what?
Everything, all that you have said to me.
I've listened to everything you said to me, and I have set a king over you. King that you wanted. Now you have a king as your leader. As for me, I'm old and gray, and my sons are here with you, and I have been your leader from my youth until this day. Here I stand, testify against me in the presence of the Lord and his anointed, whose ox have I taken, donkey have I taken, whom have I cheated, whom have I oppressed. He goes through these things to say, has any of these things happened under my watch when I was in leadership? Everybody follow? And their response was, you have not cheated us or oppressed us. You have not taken anything from what?
Any man's hand.
So who should they want? Shouldn't they want someone like this? Y'all, God says, listen to what they're saying. Right? Then Samuel said to them, the Lord is witness against you, and also anointed his witness this day that you have not found anything in my hand. And they said, he is my witness. They all agreed. Is that correct? There's a reason why he's having this conversation with them. Everybody with me? And here's the reason. He said to the people, it is the Lord who appointed Moses and Aaron and brought your ancestors out of Egypt. Now then, stand here because I'm going to confront you with evidence before the Lord as to all the righteous acts performed by the Lord for you and your ancestors. After Jacob entered Egypt, they cried out for the Lord, and the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, who brought your ancestors out of Egypt and settled them in this place. But they forgot their Lord. So he sold them into the hand of Sisera, the commander of the army of Hazor, and into the hand of the Philistines and the king of Moab, who fought against them. They cried out to the Lord, and says, we have sinned, we have forsaken the Lord and served the Baals and the Ashereths. But now deliver us from the hands of our enemies, and we will serve you. So then the Lord sent Jerubbaal, that's Gideon, Barak, Jephthah, and Samuel, and he delivered you from the hands of your enemies all around you, so that you what? But when you saw that the Nashif king of the Amorites was moving against you, you said to me what?
No, king shall reign over us.
Not only did you say, no, we want a king to reign over us, you had the Lord God as your king that did all of these things that I just described. But now, here's the king that you have chosen, the one you asked for. See, the Lord has set a king over you. Y'all hear it? You got in the lines. You went to the camp. You said all of these things. You've bypassed godly principle because you want a president. So now here you go. If you fear the Lord, so they make this mistake. Does he still give them a way out?
Yep.
If you fear the Lord and serve and obey him and do not rebel against his commands, and if both you and what?
King.
And both you and the king who reigns over you follow the Lord your God, good. You straight. But if you do not obey, and if you rebel against his commands, his hand will be against you as it was against your ancestors. Now then, stand still and see that the great thing that this Lord is about to do before your eyes. Is it not wheat harvest now? I will call on the Lord to send thunder and rain, and you will realize that an evil thing you did in the eyes of the Lord when you asked for a king. Y'all hear it? You're going to realize the evil thing that you did when you asked for someone else to rule over you. Samuel called on the Lord, and that same day the Lord sent thunder and rain, so all the people stood in awe of the Lord and of Samuel. Somebody read 19. What did the people say to Samuel?
Pray for your servants to the Lord your God, that we may not die, for we have added to all our sins the evil of asking a king for ourselves.
So all of these evil things that we've done, we've just added to it by even asking for a king. They come to that realization, right? Samuel says, do not be afraid. You have all done this evil, yet do not turn away from the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. So now we can get some information, right? We can realize that everything that we've done in this land, because it's traditional and we've been told, and we can realize the evil in it, and we can say, hold on, and follow God with all our heart, all our soul, all our mind, right? And continue to plant the seeds that just been planted in us to tell us to come out of her, my people. Can't we do that? Do not turn away after useless idols. They can do no good for you, nor that they can rescue you. They are useless. For the sake of his great name, the Lord will not reject his people, because the Lord was pleased to make you his own. As for me, far be it from me that I should sin against the Lord by failing to what? So you see, the heart is a group of people that just did an evil thing in God's sight. And he could have been like the religious people of today, or some religious people back in his day, but especially religious. You're going to hell. You're doing this. All of these things. Did Samuel do that? Oh man, let me pray for you. Let me tell you what God is saying. Y'all got to chill out. And I will teach you the way that is good and right. Be sure to fear the Lord and serve him faithfully with all your heart. When you ask him for a king, you won't fear him. Consider what great things he has done for you. Yet if you persist on doing evil, both you and your what?
Your king.
What's going to happen to you and your king?
Swept away.
Perish, swept away. How many people can hear stuff like this? You gotta be careful talking about people on their politics, right? Nah, no. Be like Samuel. Your king will be useless. Cut the middleman. Let's go to 13. Y'all tired yet? Y'all want an intermission?
No, sir.
Let's go to chapter 13. First Samuel, we're still in First Samuel. We're at chapter 13. We're at 1. Saul was 30 years old when he became king, and he reigned over Israel for 42 years. Saul chose 3,000 men from Israel. 2,000 were with him at Michmash and in the hill country of Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan at Gibeah in Benjamin. And the rest of the men he sent back to their homes. All right? I'm going to show you how your king can start operating when you want someone other than God. Right? Watch this. Jonathan attacked the Philistine outpost at Geba. Who attacked it? And the Philistines heard about it. Then Saul had the trumpet blown throughout the land, and he said, let the Hebrews hear. So all the Israel heard the news. What was the news?
That Saul had attacked.
But who attacked the outpost?
Jonathan.
Y'all see how he moving? And now Israel had become obnoxious to the Philistines, and the people were summoned to join Saul at Gilgal. The Philistines assembled to fight Israel with 3,000 chariots, 6,000 charioteers, soldiers, and the soldiers' numbers as sand on the seashore. It was a bunch of them. And they went up and camped at Michmash, east of Bethel, at Beth Haven. And when the Israelites saw that their situation was critical, that their army was hard pressed, they hid in caves, thickets, among the rocks, and in pits, and in cisterns. Some of Hebrews even crossed the Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. Saul remained at Gilgal, and all of the troops with him were quaking with fear. He waited 7 days, the time set by Samuel, but Samuel did not come to Gilgal, and Saul's men began to scatter. So he said, bring me the burnt offering, the fellowship offerings, and Saul offered up the burnt offering. Just as he finished making the offering, Samuel arrived, and Saul went out to greet him. What did Samuel say? Somebody read 11.
What have you done?
Go ahead.
What have you done? Asked Samuel, because they were supposed to wait for Samuel. Before they did the offering.
Correct.
So he said, what have you done? Asked Samuel. Saul replied, when I saw that the men were scattering, and that you did not come at the set time, and that the Philistines were assembling at Michmash.
Stop.
I thought.
He what?
I thought.
Y'all hear the language? Pay attention. There's going to be a point at the end. I thought, now the Philistines will come down against me at Gilgal, and I have not sought the Lord's favor. So I felt, what's the next word?
I felt.
We already know about felt, but I'm gonna give him a pass on felt. Read compel. What's somebody read the definition of compelled?
To force or oblige someone to do something.
So I felt forced. Because I wasn't patient. I wasn't following the commands, right? So I compelled myself to offer the burnt offering. Samuel said, you have done a foolish thing. You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. If you had, he would have established your kingdom over Israel for what?
For all time.
But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man. Please read that, someone.
After his own heart, and appointed him ruler of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command.
Going after God's heart is operating in that heart. Does that make sense? Saul's in this moment is acting so selfishly. It's not just affecting Saul. Who is it affecting?
People.
But who wanted that king?
People of Israel.
We get it? Watch this. Let's keep going. We at where we were at. That was 13. Let's go to 14. We're almost done. Let's go to 14.
But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him ruler of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command.
Hold on, Mama. So thank you for reading that again. I'm sorry, chapter 14. But thank you for reading that again. While we're going to chapter 14, I'm going to read what Mama Sue says. Absolutely, that was a. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him ruler of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command. So he has found someone that's after his own heart and that's going to follow them commands. And I'm going to show you something. It ain't going to be no feelings. It ain't going to be no compelling. It was something that wasn't happening by this king that is happening today by the people that we've put in, wanted in place. And the same thing is happening. Watch this. We're at 14. And we're going to jump down to verse 24. 1 Samuel 14. And we're going to read 24. Now the Israelites were in distress that day because Saul had bound the people under an oath, saying, "Cursed be anyone, or cursed be some people." So anyone who eats food before evening comes, before I have avenged myself on my enemies. So none of the troops tasted food. The entire army entered the woods, and there was honey on the ground. They went into the woods, and they saw the honey oozing out, yet no one put his hand to his mouth because they feared the oath. But Jonathan had not heard that his father had bound the people with the oath. So he reached out to the end of the staff that was in his hand and dipped it into the honeycomb, and he raised his hand to his mouth, and as his eyes brightened. Then one of the soldiers said to him, "Your father bound the army under a strict oath, saying, 'Cursed be, everybody but my son.'" Anyone, right? So this is why the men are faint. Then Jonathan said, "My father has made trouble for the country. See how my eyes brightened when I tasted a little of this honey? How much better would it have been if the men had eaten today some of the plunder they took from their enemies? Would not the slaughter of the Philistine have been even greater?" And that day, all of the Israelites struck down the Philistines from Michmash to Aijalon, and they were exhausted. They pounced on the plunder, taking sheep, cattle, calves, and they butchered them on the ground and ate them together with the blood. They didn't even cook it. Someone said to Saul, "Look, the men are sinning against the Lord by eating the meat that has blood in it." "You have broken faith," he said. "Roll a large stone over here at once." And he said, "Go out among the men and tell them, each one of you bring your cattle and sheep and slaughter them here and eat them. Do not sin against the Lord by eating meat with blood in it." So they cooked it, right? Saul built an altar to the Lord, and it was his first time that he ever done this. Saul said, "Let's go down and pursue the Philistines by light and plunder them until dawn, and let us not leave one of them alive." And their answer was, "Do whatever seems best to you." But here's something that has not happened a lot. It don't happen in this land. And here was the issue why God said, "I got to have somebody with my own heart and that follow my commands," because there's another step. So they said, "Do whatever seems best to you." They replied. Someone read next. And here was the issue. Read it.
But the priest said,
Go ahead, Deidre.
"But the priest said, let us inquire of God here."
Let us inquire of God here. Was this a wise statement?
Yes.
Had Saul been doing this?
No.
Do our leaders do this?
Not at all.
So Saul asked God, shall I go down and pursue the Philistines? Will you give them into Israel's hands? But what happened?
God did not answer them that day.
So Saul said, come all of here, all of the leaders of the army, and let us find out what sin has been committed today. As surely as the Lord who rescued Israel lives, even if the guilt lives with my son Jonathan, he must what?
No longer be living.
But no one said anything. Why?
That was his son.
Let's keep, you're correct, Mama Sue. Let's keep reading. So then they said to the Israelites, you stand over there, and I and Jonathan will stand over here. And they said, do what's best for you. They're going to cast lots, right? They find out through the lot that Jonathan had done something he wasn't supposed to do. So Saul says to Jonathan in 43, tell me what you have done. And Jonathan said, I tasted a little honey with the end of my staff, and now what?
I must die.
And Saul says, may God deal with me, be it ever so severely. If you do not die, Jonathan, I'm going to have to take you out, bro. Right? So he get wise advice. The scenario is laid out in front of him, and it involves his son. He said, bro, I'm going to take you out. Is that right? Did I make that up?
No.
We're on the same page before we keep reading. But the men said to Saul, should Jonathan die? He who has brought about this great deliverance in Israel. There's a relationship, right? Or it's another word. We start with an F. What do we say? Favoritism. Never, as surely as the Lord lives. See, you see how favoritism can have godly words wrapped in it? Surely as the Lord lives, not a hair of his head will fall to the ground. For he did this day with God's help. So the men rescued Jonathan, and he was not put to death.
They interceded for him. Cried out.
Because they had favoritism. Had it been anyone else, that might not have been their response. Because you remember, it was them that came to Jonathan. Hey, bro, you ain't supposed to be eating. But you see how they moving? You see how Saul moving? And see how that's not okay with God? But I want to point out something before we go to 16. So let's jump. We're in 15, right? Let's go to 52. And it says, all of the days of Saul, there were bitter war with the Philistines. But pay attention to this. Read the rest of that sentence, someone.
And whenever mighty or brave man took them into his service.
So whenever Saul saw a mighty or brave man, he took him into his service. Y'all read that?
What verse is that here?
This is 1 Samuel 15, verse 52.
15.
I'm sorry, 14, 52. I'm sorry,
Oh,
14, 52. I apologize. I'm sorry. All of the days of Saul were bitter war with the Philistines, and whenever Saul saw a mighty man or a brave man, he took him to his service. Did y'all see the door just open for what was about to happen? Everybody catch it?
It's going to be a whole bunch of ungodly people.
No, listen, hold on. Whenever Saul saw a mighty or brave man, he took him into his service. This was Saul's custom. And this custom that he did, this is how the new king's about to come in. Let's keep going. Does that make sense? Somebody just write that down for 1 Samuel 14, 52. It'll make sense in a second. All right, we're at 15 now. And the Lord is about to reject Saul as king. Everybody with me? Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people. So now listen to the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt. Now go and attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. Everybody got the instructions? So he's supposed to go and wipe out what?
Everything.
Everything.
Leave nothing.
So Saul summoned the men and mustered them at Tillim, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 from Judah. Saul went to the city of Amalek and set an ambush in the ravine. Then he said to the Kenites, go away, leave the Amalekites so that I do not destroy you along with them. For you showed kindness to all of the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites moved away from the Amalekites, and then Saul attacked the Amalekites all the way from Havilah to Shur, near the eastern border of Egypt. He took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all of his people he totally destroyed with the sword. But Saul and the army spared Agag and the best of the sheep and the cattle, the fat calves and the lambs, and everything that was good. Everything that was good in whose sight?
Saul.
You see, we see the problem. And then they were unwilling to destroy completely. But everything that was despised and weak, they totally destroyed. Despised and weak in whose eyes?
Saul.
But if you remember, God told him to get rid of all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then when the word of the Lord came to Samuel, I regret that I have made Saul king because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Samuel was angry and he cried out to the Lord all that night. Why y'all think Samuel was so angry that he cried out to the Lord that night? Was it his favoritism with Saul that he loved Saul so much? It was his love for Saul having that heart of God and all of the people that was affected by his ignorant choices.
He knew all of the people. He knew it was going to come back and be a problem.
He told them. Remember, God said, look, this is what's going to happen. So as he starts to get this news, and the Lord said, I done rejected him. He ain't following the commands. He's like, oh, that means, right?
Yeah, at some point, and we know there is a point ahead from this story.
Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul. Hold on a second. Yep. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul, but he was told Saul has gone to Carmel. There he has set up a monument in his own honor and has turned and gone down to Gilgal. And when Samuel reached Saul, Saul said, what?
The Lord bless you.
I have carried out the Lord's instructions.
You didn't. You little liar.
So, but hold on. He said, I've carried out the Lord's instructions. What did Samuel say?
What then is this bleating of sheep in my ear?
Why am I hearing bah and moo? Why am I hearing animals that you didn't have? Saul answered, the soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle to sacrifice the Lord your God, but we totally destroyed the rest. Like we totally did that, Lord. Enough, Samuel said to Saul, let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night. Tell me, Saul replied, although you were once small in your own eyes, did not become the head of the tribes of Israel. The Lord anointed you king over Israel, and he sent you on a mission saying, go and completely destroy those wicked people, the Amalekites. Wage war against them until you have wiped them out. Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on the plunder and do evil in the eyes of the Lord? But he said, but I did obey the Lord. I went on the mission the Lord assigned me, and I completely destroyed Amalekites and brought back Agag, their king. Is that what the Lord told him to do?
Absolutely not.
The soldiers took their sheep and cattle from the plunder, the best of what's devoted to God, in order to sacrifice them to the Lord your God at Gilgal. What Samuel say?
Does the Lord, go ahead, Mama Sue.
Does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams.
You see it? You can see how these middlemen can move when we prefer them over our king. Does our king move like this? Even the people that our king send down, the godly men, they didn't even move like this. There were no taxes and doing all of these ungodly things when Samuel was in charge. Then Saul said to Samuel, I'm in 24, I have sinned. I violated the Lord's commands and your instructions. Read the rest of that sentence.
I was afraid of the men, and so I gave in to them.
You see why they didn't, you see why his son didn't die? Now I beg you, forgive me my sin and come back with me so that I may worship the Lord. But Samuel said to him, I will not go back with you. You have rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected you as king over Israel. And as Samuel tried to turn to leave, Saul caught a hem of his robe and it tore. Samuel told to him, the Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today and has given it to one of your neighbors, to one better than you. He who is the glory of Israel does not lie or change his mind, for he is not a human being that he should change his mind. Y'all hear it? Let's look at something else. Don't just a side note. I want to get off. Don't get caught up for whatever reason not doing what God called you to do, because he will send someone in to do what you did not willing to do, and then you'll be rejected. Didn't that happen to Israel? Didn't that happen to the Gentiles? Let's read this. Then I'm in 32. Then so after all of the wisdom, and he told Saul what's coming to him, what he did. There's still something that got to be done because there was an instruction that God gave that wasn't carried out. Is that correct?
Yes.
Samuel said, bring me the king. Agag came to him in chains, and as he thought, surely the bitterness of this had passed. So now the king is kind of relaxed. But Samuel said to him, as your sword has made women childless, so will your mother be childless amongst women. And Samuel put Agag to death before the Lord at Gilgal. Then Samuel left for Ramnah, but Saul went up to his home in Gibeah of Saul. And until the day that Samuel died, he did not go to see Saul again, though Samuel mourned for him, and the Lord regretted that he made Saul king over Israel. You want to know who regretted it more? I ain't gonna say more, but you know who also regretted it? The people that Samuel warned what was about to happen to them for asking for such an evil thing, to be ruled by ungodly people. And that's what's happening today. That's exactly what's happening today. So real quick, because I want to close this out, let's go to 1 Samuel 16 real quick. And if y'all remember when I said, I think that was in 1452, when he found a mighty man, he brought him into his service, right? And if you remember the story of Saul goes down, I'll start at 16 real quick, just for some context. How the Lord said to Samuel, how long will you mourn for Saul, since I have rejected him as king over Israel? So Saul is Samuel is very, very distraught, correct? But God sends him to Bethlehem to go anoint a king, one of Jesse's sons, right? And we read this story, right? We actually read this a couple of studies ago. But the point that I want to rehash that. What I want to rehash is that if you remembered when they went through going through the sons, and now Samuel has a little bit easier time of God rejection. right? Because of what he just went through. They go to anoint David's son. God says, this is the one, right? They anoint David's son. And I just want to show you how God worked. So somebody read 1 Samuel 14:52 one more time.
All the days of Saul, there was bitter war, 1452, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the days of Saul, there was bitter war with the Philistines, and whenever Saul saw a mighty or brave man, he took him into his service.
Right? So God is, so what Mama Sue just read, and it was Saul's custom. When he saw somebody mighty, brave, he brought him in. He brought him in on the squad, right? Then I remember I made the comment, the door is opening because Samuel said, I'm about to send, God is about to send someone, your neighbor, someone that's better than you. Watch how he does it. So let's go back to 16. We're at 16. 1 Samuel 16, and somebody read verse 18. We read this last week.
One of the servants answered, I have seen a son of Jesse of Bethlehem who knows how to play the lyre. He is a brave man and a warrior. He speaks well and is a fine-looking man, and the Lord is with him.
So he met the criteria, and we all know the rest of the story. He goes into Saul's service, right? And and I encourage you, go read the story of David, and you start to see, you remember what the priest said, yo, we need to inquire with God on this. Every time David was about to make a major decision, about to do something, he said, Lord, am I about to do this? Go get the ephod. Go get the ephod. Put it on. Lord, do I need to go? Do I not need to go? Y'all see it? Y'all think our president is, Lord, do I need to hit this button? Or, Lord, do you? Never, don't even speak like that. Decade after decade after decade after decade after decade of lies. These things happening that's going on currently, they get on the news and they say it's Bible prophecy. They ain't spoke Bible to you in 100 years. Y'all get it? Real quick, we're going to close out. Let's go to someone pull up Revelation 9:20-21. But before we go there, let's go to John chapter 19 as we close. John 19. And we're going to start at verse 1. Then Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. The soldiers twisted together a crown of thorns and put it on his head. And they clothed him in a purple robe and went to him again and again, saying, Hail the what?
King of the Jews.
Hear my point before we close. And they slapped him in the face. Once more, Pilate came out and said to the Jews gathered there, look, I'm bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no basis for a charge against him. When Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe, Pilate said to them, here is the man. As soon as the who? Chief priest. So priests of what? Religious priests, right?
Yeah.
And their oppression, they shouted what?
Crucify him.
Kill him. Religious priests. The chief religious priests. Right? But let's look where I'm going. Pilate answered him, you take him and you crucify him. As for me, I found no basis for a charge against him. Remember when we first started reading, God told Samuel, I want you to listen to what?
What they say.
I want you to listen to what they say. So family, as I'm reading this, I want y'all to listen to what they say as we close. Pilate said, you take him. I found no a charge against him. The Jewish leaders insisted, we have a law, and according to the law, he must die because he claimed to be the Son of God. When Pilate heard this, when Pilate heard this, he was even more afraid, and he went back inside the palace. Where do you come from? He asked Jesus, but Jesus gave him no answer. Do you refuse to speak to me? Pilate said, do you realize I have the power to either free you or to crucify you? And let me go on, check. Jesus, let me go on and I'm gonna just go ahead and let me check you real quick. You don't have no power. The only power you have is what was sent from above. You only got me in your possession because this is the will of, this is the will. But therefore, the one who handed me over to you is guilty of a greater sin, right? And I'm gonna show you why. Let me back up. The greater sin is because they had the king right there in front of them, and they desired a what?
The middleman.
They wanted a middleman. From then on, Pilate tried to set Jesus free, but the Jewish leaders kept shouting, if you let this man go, you are no friend of Caesar. Anyone who claims to be a what?
King
Opposes who?
Caesar.
Watch this. When Pilate heard this, he brought Jesus out and sat down on the judge's seat at the place known as the stone pavement, which is Aramaic for Gabbatha. It was the day of the preparation of the Passover. It was about noon. Here is your what?
King.
But they shout. Did they shout, he ain't our king? They listen to the language. Take him away, crucify him. Shall I crucify your king? Pilate asks. We have no what?
King.
King
Caesar.
We don't want that king. We want Caesar. We don't want that king. We want our politicians. We don't want that king. This 4 to 8 years, we want a Democrat. This 4 to 8 years, we want a Republican. We don't ask any godly questions. And we know the story when they crucified Jesus. Pilate on 19, he had a notice prepared and fastened to the cross. It read, Jesus of Nazareth, what?
The King of the Jews.
It is the King of the Jews, the king that you rejected. Watch this. Then I asked someone to pull up Revelation 9, 20 and 21. Did somebody pull it up for me? Before you read it, this is when the tribulation starts. The trumpets have gone off. It is going down, right? It is plague, it's wild beasts. There's a lot of people passing away. Somebody got the verse for me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of the work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, idols that could not see or hear or walk. Nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immorality, or their thefts.
They still, through all of the death, through all of the things, they still are going to refuse the one and true king. They don't want him. They don't want to be ruled by him. When the 144,000 are killed, people are going to be doing what?
Worshiping peace.
Celebrating.
Celebrating because, we don't have the conviction anymore from the two witnesses. We're celebrating because we don't have to be ruled by the people. We don't want to be ruled by that. Y'all see it? Who is our king? Who do we want to be ruled by?
Jesus.
The title of the Bible study was Debating Destruction. If you saw the artwork, that's what the debate, they sitting there arguing about who's going to destroy us the best. And we okay with it because, we have nullified the word of God by our politics. We have nullified the word of God by our politics. Our politics supersedes what God telling us to do. And in the end times, it's going to be heavily, heavily strong in politics, right? Be careful. Are we debating our own destruction? Are we signing up for our own destruction? Or are we willing to say, hold on, man, this evil thing that we've done, Lord, I've done an evil thing. but I want to follow you with all my heart. I don't want to be wicked. I don't want to be out of your presence. I don't want to be away from you. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be this way. I want to be at your feet. I want to follow you. I want you to rule me. Send me godly counsel, right? Blessed is the one who don't sit in the counsel of the ungodly. Those who are wise will continue to be wise, but the wicked will continue to ask for a middleman. The wicked will continue to want to be ruled by a king that is not Jesus, that is not God. The wicked will continue to be wicked. Hey, man, I'm going to stop talking. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut down Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. I appreciate everybody's time tonight or today, whatever. It's tonight somewhere. It's tonight in China. Okay, my brothers and sisters in China. All right, so we'll be back very, very soon. And praise God, I thank you for taking the time out to listen. I hope it was beneficial. I hope the seeds were planted on good ground. I hope you heard God's words over my words. I hope you understand that these weren't my words. We do everything we can to read through the Bible slowly to see what God is saying. So we don't give out our opinions, or we're not compelled to do what we're felt to do, but we're being led to follow God's commands. So with that being said, I'll see everybody real soon. Thanks for joining us. And 4719, enjoy the rest of your Sabbath.
Yeah. Whatever, yeah. Whatever, yeah. But first I need you. Yeah. But Lord, I need you. Yeah. I'll go wherever you want me to go and do what you want me to do. But Lord, I need you, cause it's not by my strength that I move how I move. On your mission, you really mean business. Can I stop till you tell me I'm finished? Just like Noah, we read it in Genesis. Lay that out how you really gon' finish this. Yeah. But we only be thinking about us, and you where we say we put our trust. Know our words even ain't enough. If we hit the part from me, that's tough. But we did it, showed our faith how we really was living. Being a soldier and a martyr, that's different. Yeah. Which one do you think that he want? He want Jesus or Peter before he received that power. 'Cause Lord, I need your power. Wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to say, whatever you want me to do, Lord, I do. But first I need your power. But Lord, I need your power. Wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to say, whatever you want me to do, just show me the way and I move. Yeah.